the 4 people. According to the list of the meeting, number 18, dated May 17, 2025, the Institution Council in the field of study, rate 0.31, is monthly about the temporary composition of the Institution Council in the amount of 3 people. According to the evidence sheet, 7 for 7 members of the Institution Council are present. 10 members for the Education Council. Committee Development Parish, Jerry, Professor of the Department of Economics, High School Economics, Business of Private Education, US, Doctor of Economic Science. Sagi Rima County, the teacher university. Every professor of the Department of Finance and Accounting, High School of Economics and Business, and Private Education University. Doctor of Economic Sciences. Tony Doctor Gagliara Pietri, Acting Dean of the High School of Economics and Private Education, Candidate of Economic Sciences. Camilo Asset, Scientific Secretary, Senior Lecturer, Department of Economics, High School of Economics and Business, Al-Farabi, Kazakh National University, ESG. Temporary members of the Dissertation Council. Shooting Lee, School of Management, Shanghai University, ESG, Assistant Professor. Kireva Anel Akhmetovna, Institute of Economics and of the Science of Committee, Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Candidate of Economic Sciences, Associate Professor. Hasenova Kenjagul Kalmuratovna, Department of Management of Gumilev Eurasian National University, Candidate of Economic Sciences, Associate Professor. According to the attendance sheet, 7 members of the Dissertation Council are present. A quorum is present. Allow us to begin the meeting of the Dissertation Council. So, yes, the Dissertation Council meeting is declared open. The issue on the agenda in the defense of dissertation work of Amangельдиевой on the topic State Regulation of the Circular Economies Development in the Republic of Kazakhstan, submitted for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, according to the educational program AD04 10.3, State of Local Government, State and Local Government. Dissertation of Amangельдиевой was performed at the Department of Management of Higher School of Economics and Business of Kazakh National University. The dissertation work is submitted for defense for the first time. Scientific supervisors: Jidibek Kazakh Nur, PhD, Associate Professor, Al-Farabi, Kazakh National University, Almaty, Kazakhstan. Bilan Svetlana, PhD, Associate Professor, Rzeszów University of Technology, Poland. Mantas Shvazas, PhD, Senior Research Fellow, Research Institute of Bioeconomy, Vytautas Magnus University, Kaunas, Lithuania. Stepaev Arsen Moldagaliyevich, PhD, Associate Professor, Faculty of Economics and Entrepreneurship, Kazakh German University, Almaty, Kazakhstan. A domestic scientific supervisor is present. Positive reviews from domestic and foreign scientific supervisors are available. Official reviews are present. Do the council members have any comments on the agenda? No. Okay.
There are no comments. There is a motion to adoption of the agenda. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. The agenda was adopted anonymously. The flow of familiarization with the personal file of dissertation candidate is given to the Scientific Secretary of Dissertation Council, PhD Kaliyeva Asya Yermekovna.
Thank you. Definitely members, dissertation council, let me introduce you to the personal file of candidate, dissertation candidate. Amangельдиева was born in Almaty on 23 January 1997. Nationality is Kazakh. She holds a diploma of higher education from Al-Farabi Kazakh National University until 2014-2018 and Master of Economic Science from Al-Farabi Kazakh National University from 2018 to 2020. Amangельдиева has been studying for a PhD in the educational program, state and local government until 2017 to 2020 and completed scientific practice at Rzeszów University of Technology, Poland in 2024. Her working experience began in 2021 when Amangельдиева worked as a junior lecturer at Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. Then she worked as a technical and responsible secretary for the scientific journal, Farabi Journal of Social Science from 2021 to 2024. The dissertation title, State Regulation of the Circular Economy's Development in the Republic of Kazakhstan, was completed in the Department of Management at Farabi Kazakh National University. The topic of dissertation was initially approved by the order number APA, dated January 5th, 2024. The dissertation had to be recommended for the term by the extended meeting of the Department of Management, Higher School of Economics and Business at Farabi Kazakh National University, dated May 6, 2025. The dissertation work was carried out within the framework of the implementation of scientific project for grant funding, number AP 09259851, development of circular economy in Kazakhstan, potential trends prospect until 2021-2023. And scientific project of grant funding AP 1957653, responsible production in Kazakhstan enterprises as a tool for achieving SDG 12 assessment of potential and development prospects from 2023 to 2025. The results of the Bernard Amangельдиева dissertation has been published in the 12 publications, including 5 in journal funded by Committee for Quality Assurance in Education, Science and Higher Education of the Ministry, Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan, 2 publications in Q1 journals included in the Scopus database, 1 publication in the Policy Calendar, and 4 publications in the materials of international scientific conferences. The applicant personal file includes all the necessary documents submitted in accordance with the regulation of the Committee for Quality Assurance in Science and Higher Education of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The submitted materials comply with the established requirements for the design of the dissertation for the defense of the Committee of Quality Assurance in Science and Higher Education of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Admitted to defense.
What questions will be asked of the Secretary regarding the applicant's personal file? Do you have? Okay. The floor is given to the applicant to present the content of the dissertation. Amangельдиева Pirganim, you are given 20 minutes to present the main position of your dissertation. Please.
Thank you for the message. Without distinct members of the Institution Council, colleagues, and guests, allow me to introduce my dissertation project, Take the place with Central Economic Development in the Republic of Kazakhstan. My research supervisor is PhD Associate Professor Shureka Zaaflor and International Research Supervisor PhD Associate Professor Bilan Stiplana. Next slide. So the relevance of my research stems from the need to transition from the linear economic model, make ways, to a circular model, which focuses on sustainable consumption, resource reuse, and reducing environmental impact. This topic is particularly important in the context of Kazakhstan's strategic goals outlined in the President's addresses to the population of Kazakhstan, and including the green economic concept and the carbon neutrality strategy by 2060. So as you can see, the purpose of this research is to conduct a comprehensive study on the processes involved in establishing a circular economy in the Republic of Kazakhstan, and to develop scientifically grounded recommendations for enhancing the mechanisms of state regulation that will facilitate the transition to a circular economy model. Next slide, please. To achieve the stated goal, the following tasks were solved in work. So the first is to study theoretical and methodological approaches, analyzing international experience, study methodological approach to assess economic development in Kazakhstan, to conduct an empirical analysis of the development of circular economy, to identify main barriers, problems, and institutional constraints, and to develop scientifically based proposals and recommendations for improving the policy related to the circular economy. So, as you can see, the subject of the study is organizational and economic relations arising from the state regulation of the circular economy, and the object of the study, circular economy and the Republic of Kazakhstan. Next slide, please. So from this slide, you can see the content of my dissertation work, which consists of 3 chapters. The first one devoted for the theoretical and methodological foundations of state regulation of the circular economy. So here we have the theoretical and conceptual foundations, state regulation of the circular economy, comparative analysis, international practices, and methodological approaches to assessing the circular economy development. At the second chapter, we analyze the current state and assessment of circular economy development in the Republic of Kazakhstan, which consists of analyzing of the legal framework, assessment of the current state of the circular economy's development at macro level, empirical analysis on meso level and micro level, and the expert interview to identify problems and the barriers for the development of a circular economy in the agro-industrial complex. And the third chapter is devoted for the recommendations for improving state regulation of the circular economy's development in the Republic of Kazakhstan. So my first provision, next slide please. First provision for defense is a multi-level methodology for assessing the development of the circular economy in the Republic of Kazakhstan has been developed, including a set of indicators at the macro, meso, and the micro levels, reflecting institutional, economic, and behavioral aspects. Next slide, please. So here you can see the table which interprets the methodological approach to assessing the development of circular economy at 3 levels. So we have the macro level, which consists nation and country, meso level, which includes a branch of the economy, and micro level, which involves the product, company, and the individual levels. So at the macro level, we studied the statistics, policies, available open source data, national reports, and the other sources to assess the circular economy development at the macro level. At the meso level, the analysis of the current situation in the agro-industrial complex of industry and the prospects. And the third level, micro, consists of surveying the population to study environmental awareness and the consumer behavior. Next slide, please. So, my second provision for defense, it has been established that an increase in cost does not have a statistically significant effect on the level of recycling and reuse of waste, which is confirmed by regression analysis and emphasizes the importance of intangible factors such as environmental awareness, government regulation, and infrastructure. Next slide, please. So here you can see the main hypothesis that I used to assess this provision. So hypothesis is the volume of current costs for waste management has a statistically significant and positive effect on the level of recycling and reuse of waste in Kazakhstan. Results of the regression analysis can be seen in the table 4 on the bottom right table. I made two equations due to the correlation results. So I included the variables from x1 to x4 and from x1 to x3. And so according to the results of the regression analysis, next slide, please. The hypothesis suggesting a direct positive relationship between increased costs and higher recycling volumes was not statistically confirmed. While intuitively greater investments should lead to improved outcomes, the analysis indicates that only financial inputs alone do not guarantee better recycling performance. So, increasing funding without simultaneous work on reducing waste generation and increasing environmental awareness is ineffective. The variables were included in the model despite their statistical insignificance because they are theoretically important and represent key aspects of waste management. The purpose of the analysis is to identify general trends and evaluate how these factors influence the volume of waste recycling. The overall model was significant as indicated by high R-score and the F-test values. This confirms the validity of the analysis and highlights the need for further research in this area. So, third provision, a comprehensive analysis of the results of a population survey using SPSS 25 and an expert survey using the structural modeling method in Smart PLS suite made it possible to identify the key determinants of a circular behavior and assess the degree of readiness of various stakeholder groups to transition to the principles of a circular economy. So here you can see that this part of the study was conducted through two research, two calculations. The first one was quantitative analysis, the population survey, which involved the 3,448 people, which conducted in a population survey. So the factors influencing the formation of pro-circular behavior of the population in Kazakhstan have been identified. So the questionnaire included logs on the awareness of the circular economy, attitudes, circular mindset, external factors, actual behavior, participation in circular exchange, and the rating scale was 5 point like it, from 1 completely disagree to 5 completely agree. Next slide. So here you can see the results of the structural model and the path coefficients. So according to the results, we can see that all of the 4 hypotheses that were included in this part of the study, previous slide please. So the 4 hypotheses were tested. The first one, the level of circular awareness has a positive effect on the pro-circular behavior of the population. Second hypothesis, a circular mindset positively influences the pro-circular behavior of the population. Third hypothesis, external factors determine the pro-circular behavior. And the fourth hypothesis, pro-circular behavior has a positive effect on the circular sharing. Next slide. So here you can see that the path coefficient showed a positive results of these variables. As you can see, the circular awareness influence to the pro-circular behavior at 0.405 result. The circular mindset also influences the pro-circular behavior at the 0.104 results. And the external factors also influence the pro-circular behavior at the level of 0.367. All of this means that these variables, these constructs, circular awareness, circular mindset, and external factors, they all influence pro-circular behavior, which in turn influence on the circular sharing. Next slide. Here you can see the key findings of this result. So, awareness of the circular economy is a key factor influencing circular behavior, as we saw that it has a level of influence 0.405, the highest result. External incentives, including governmental support and infrastructure development, play a decisive role, and implementation of circular economy principles requires an integrated approach involving all stakeholders. Next slide. The second part of the study includes the expert survey, the purpose of which was to conduct an expert survey aimed at gathering objective and qualified assessments of the key aspects of developing the circular economy in Kazakhstan, including barriers, opportunities, and prospects for implementation. Distribution of experts can be seen in Table 1 on the left. So the field of activity includes the business and industry, science and education, governmental institutions, non-governmental and organizations. The final sample of the experts was 54. The number of experts for distribution at the initial stage was planned as 100. After correcting the sample, the number was 54. Parameters for assessing the readiness of stakeholders for the circular economy can be seen in the second table on the right. So, parameters included the 5 points. First one, principles of the circular economy, which has its own sub-parameters. Second, business and industry readiness level. Third one, level of readiness of state and financial institutions. Fourth, the level of readiness of science and education, public institutions. And the last one is the level of readiness of society and consumers. Next slide. Here you can see the more detailed information about the assessment level of each stakeholder group, which was assessed by Likert scale from 1 to 5. Next slide. Here you can see the results of this research, of this calculation of expert survey. So descriptive statistics of the generated variables are presented in the first table. So as you can see, the number was 54 from the 4 stakeholders. And according to Cronbach alpha coefficient for the parameters, all parameters showed the positive result, which means that they are statistically significant for this research. And on the figure on the right, you can see the readiness level of stakeholder for the formation of a circular economy by the results of this expert survey. So according to this, next, yes, thank you. According to this, we can see the results of ANOVA for the principles of the circular economy. So all of the parameters showed the high significance, and the pairwise correlation of stakeholder readiness level on the right top table. Correlation analysis demonstrated a high degree of interrelationship between the different stakeholder groups, which means that one stakeholder group significantly can influence to the other stakeholder group, which means that they should be interconnected when preparing their policies or actions for the transition to a circular economy principles. And paid comparisons of stakeholder readiness also show the significant results. Next slide, please. So key findings from the expert survey can be seen in this slide. So as you can see, the expert survey in Kazakhstan revealed that the overall implementation of circular economy principles is currently low, with particular weaknesses in refuse and repurpose principles. While science and education, along with public institutions, demonstrate comparatively higher readiness for circular economy. Can you previous and to previous? Here on the right, we can see that science and education, public institution readiness showed that higher result, which means that this stakeholder is more ready for the transition to a circular economy at the point of 2.44. And these ready stakeholders are state and financial institutions and society and consumer readiness. The differences in perception of the circular economy principles between groups confirm the need for targeted communication, incentive measures, and educational campaigns. The fourth provision for defense, based on semi-structured expert interviews with representatives of the agro-industrial complex of the Republic of Kazakhstan, industry barriers to the implementation of the circular economy were identified, including the lack of economic incentives, regulatory fragmentation, low levels of involvement, and weak infrastructure support. So here you can see the expert interview results. The structure of responders include the civil service, science, and practitioners with the experience in their field and with their job title. So the results show that expert interviews with representatives of the agro-industrial complex of Kazakhstan revealed 5 groups of key barriers to the transition to a circular economy. So as you can see, the financial constraints, lack of governmental support, cultural and motivational barriers, lack of processing infrastructure, and low awareness and lack of educational programs. Key findings can be seen in this slide. So most experts agree that the transition to a circular principles in the agro-industrial complex will be extremely difficult without economic motivation and the corresponding infrastructure. A division of opinions among respondents was also revealed. Some experts see the future in the circular economy, while others are skeptical about its implementation and are considering it inappropriate. According to these, for the successful development of circular economy in the sector, a comprehensive combination of legislative, economic, and educational measures is needed, taking into account the specifics of the industry and the interests of its participants. The fifth provision for defense, practical recommendations were developed to stimulate the circular economy at the macro and the meso levels, including tax and financial instruments, standards, strategies, and the introduction of a single national digital platform. For the agro-industrial complex, the introduction of eco-industrial parks and the implementation of digital technologies for implementing the principles of a circular economy was proposed. So here you can see the main recommendation at the macro level, which includes a roadmap model for the transition to a circular economy at the different layers and the different key recommendations. So as you can see, the basis of the layer is foundation, which consists of policy and strategy layer. So implementing a comprehensive circular economy law, integrating circular economy targets into all sectoral strategies and programs, defining clear KPIs and timelines, and ensuring interministerial calculation mechanisms could help for transition to circular economy at this layer. Next is the next layer is the core enablers, which includes infrastructure layer. So here we can see the introducing green taxation, creating dedicated city credit lines and grants, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises, offering capital subsidies, construction regional recycling hubs, mandating the source separation by municipalities and large operators, and upgrading the landfills. And the core drivers value creation layer consists of renewable energy sources, using of these sources, and the eco-industrial parks, industrial symbiosis, and joint capacities. At the education and international cooperation, we can see that it should be recommended joining global initiatives, making some trainings and webinars and courses and exchanging of experience to develop the circular economic transition at this level. And the last level is monitoring and control, which consists of introduction of a system of indicators and reporting, and the creation of a CE monitoring center to check all this development and assess this development. Next proposal for the transition to a circular economy at the macro level through the introduction of a national digital platform, which I call Kazakh Circular Hub. Next slide. So here you can see the more detailed website architecture, which consists of marketplace, of training, cooperation, volunteering, idea incubator for promoting innovation in this sector, analytics and support. So from this platform, people can not only exchange their waste, their sources, but also learn, also volunteer at the projects and see how innovations, which innovations can be used or introduce, implement their own new idea to implement this transition to a circular economy. Next slide. So here you can see the example of using Kazakh Circular Hub on this platform, which consists of registration, posting an ad on a resource marketplace, searching and filter offers, communication via built-in messenger in this platform, registration and payment of the transaction when you want to buy or sell your waste or secondary resources, and coordination of delivery, confirmation of receipt and revocation, and the analytics and the batch accumulation. So by using this platform, people can not only reduce their waste, but also they can achieve some badges for their motivation. The next is facilitating the transition to a circular economy through the creation of eco-industrial parks and implementation of digital technologies. So natural resources, we can see that at the traditional parks, we have the company which takes the natural resource produces, gives final product, and then the waste is outcoming from their producing process. In eco-industrial parks, the natural resources is also used, the final product is given to the market, but the waste of this company can be the new resources for the other company. So waste of one can be byproduct, and byproducts of one company can be new resources and new materials for another company. So it means that they reduce the output of waste in total. So awareness raising mechanisms, can be seen in table which has their own target groups, their purpose of influence, communication channels, and expected effects. Next one, Internet of Things and the development of smart farming through mobile apps. So functions of smart farming and how it works can be seen in the table on the left. So as an example, I can give the first one, the field condition monitoring, which works as obtaining data on soil moisture, nutrient content, light levels, and temperature through connected sensors. So it means that the farmers can use the smart farming system to improve their soil, to improve the level of their monitoring, and to implement the circular economy principles. The approximate algorithm of operation of a mobile application within the framework of a smart farm can be seen in the figure on the right. Next one, the use of AI systems, which nowadays is very popular. So by using AI systems in agro-industrial complex, it can be made through data collection, processing data using AI models, and formation of forecasts and recommendations for the farmers, and automation of actions, which will ease the work of the farmers and the participants of agro-industrial complex. And in the last, you can see the feedback and system training, which will improve step by step according to this process. So examples of existing AI technologies can be seen in the table below. Nowadays, worldwide, there are a lot of AIs that will help the participants of the agro-industrial complex. So, for example, diagnosis of plant diseases, predicting disease risk, automation of harvesting, and the others. So, in conclusion, I want to say that the transition to a circular economy is a strategically important area of sustainable development, especially in the context of limited resources and environmental challenges. And also, I would like to mention that in the analysis of international experiences and Kazakhstan's realities has shown that the government's regulation plays a key role in the successful implementation of circular economy. Through regulatory frameworks, economic incentives, investments, and the inter-level coordination, the state creates the great condition for the implementation of circular economy practices. Empirical findings from regression analysis, a large-scale population survey, expert survey, and expert interviews identify the key barriers, including low awareness, weak intersectoral coordination, and insufficient institutional support. To overcome these challenges, the study suggests macro and meso level recommendations, such as creating a national platform, Kazakh Circular Hub, developing eco-industrial parks, fostering digital transformation through technologies like AI, IoT, and others, and successfully implementing circular economy principles could lead to greater sustainability, economic resilience, and improved environmental well-being. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. The report is complete. What question will give the topic here ask? Our members online.
Polat Mentaich. Hello, dear colleague. I would like ask two questions. Berganim, in your study, you highlighted the importance of government regulation for the development of circular economy. What specific government mechanisms do you think are most effective in accelerating the implementation of circular models in Kazakhstan? The second question, how did you conduct a comparative analysis in subsection 1.3 of your dissertation? What criteria were used to compare countries? Justify your choice of countries, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the presentation. And I also wanted to ask two questions, okay? So the first question is the technical question. So you did two surveys. One is the general survey and one is the expert survey. So I want to ask, how did you collect the survey data on page 90? I think that's for the general survey. What is the response rate? And who are the survey respondents? Does the sample coverage of the questionnaire surveys does the sample coverage of questionnaire surveys and the expert interviews reflect national representativeness? This is my first question about the survey, how you collect the data. And the second question I have is, what's the international relevance of your study and how you think other countries may benefit from your study? Okay, that's my two questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Please.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for everyone. Hello, everybody. So, thank you for your presentation. I think it was really informative and engaging. I think the PhD student demonstrated strong command of the subject matter and presented on findings with clarity. I think the methodological approach which used by PhD student well justified and analysis was relevant. And especially appreciate the way you connected with research to broader theoretical and methodological application. I think this is solid step forward in your doctoral work in the future. Okay, let's go for my first questions. First, what role does public awareness play in the transition to circular economy according to your research? My second question is, what are the key areas of the government regulation that should be developed in the coming years to support the circular economy? And the last question is, how did you justify the choice of PLS SEM methods in analyzing population behavior? Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. For other questions? Other questions? Any other questions? No? Okay. I will ask some question. In table 17 of the situation, there are variation matrix of four independent variables. They are very close to the frequency. It shows those independence if there are, yes. For example, X3 and X4. It is almost the same with 0.900. Yes. What are these variables? Are yes, X3 is the relation of all types of words. Yes. And X4 is intensity of words generation. They are, and okay, we can present the variables, but what you are using in the regression. Regression, of course, regression, all coefficients in these regressions in model 1, model 2 are significant. Yes, significant. Why did you use these regressions? Why it shows the best, but you can say any conclusion using these calculations. Yes. So, are there questions? Yeah. Do you need some time to prepare for answers? Yes, we can. Questions, no questions, but not needed. Questions were the applicant is prepared to answer the questions. Флоресирует домес социальных supervisor. PhD associate professor of Education University. GFZ upload for NAS review.
Thank you so much. Dear members of the Dissertation Council, dear colleagues, allow me to briefly present my supervisor's evaluation of the Berganum's dissertation submitted for the PhD degree. As we all know, the topic of this research is highly relevant, considering the growing scarcity of resources and all environmental challenges. The shift toward a circular is not optional, it is essential. In this context, a role of the state is fundamental, particularly in setting legal frameworks, providing incentives, and coordinating cross-sectoral efforts. When we first began exploring this research topic several years ago, there were very few publications about circular economy in Kazakhstan, despite the fact that this topic has been already studied in other advanced economies. Our team launched a research project to address this gap, and Berganum joined us early on. From that point, she grew together with the project team, learning, developing her expertise, and contributing to the research tasks. Her commitment and responsibility were evident throughout the entire process. As a result, today she completed a dissertation that offers a strong theoretical foundation with an in-depth analysis of international and national literature. She clearly outlines the limitations of the linear economic model and makes a convincing case for adopting circular principles, especially in the context of our country. The second chapter is particularly valuable since it presents a thorough empirical study. She employed a range of methods, including regression analysis, structural modeling, expert surveys, in-depth interviews, all of which are aligned with the research objectives. The findings are very interesting and highly informative. The third chapter provides well-structured and practical policy recommendations, both at the macro level and specifically for the agro-industrial sector. And throughout her doctoral work, Berganum demonstrated strong academic discipline and actively participated in 2 research projects directly related to circular economy and responsible production. Overall, as a supervisor, I'd say that the dissertation is logically structured, it is a completed work, and offers both scientific novelty and practical relevance. I think it fully meets the requirements for the PhD degree, and I sincerely wish Berganum success in her future scientific journey and professional development. The full version of my review is available on the official website of the Dissertation Council. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. The floor is given to Council Secretary Bassem Yuvar to announce the review of the foreign science supervisor, PhD associate professor, Josh of University of Technology, Guran Sidra.
Thank you, Mohammed. Review by the scientific supervisor of participation by Amangельдиевой program Aslarkızı, state regulation of the development of the circular economy in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Guran Sidra, PhD associate professor, University of Technology. I had the pleasure of co-supervising Berganum Amangельдиевой's research. The state regulation. The topic is extremely timely, particularly given the global movement toward sustainability and the growing importance of circular economic models for national development. Amangельдиева has demonstrated a deep understanding of the theoretical and practical aspects of circular economy, providing a comprehensive analysis of the topic on the context of Kazakhstan. The dissertation is well structured, and the author successfully integrated various scientific viewpoints, drawing on the both international and local sources to build a solid conceptual framework. Amangельдиева policy recommendation for advancing the circular economy in Kazakhstan are both practical and well-founded. She proposed concrete issues such as developing eco-industrial parks and creating new regulatory frameworks that could help facilitate the transition to a more sustainable economic model. These recommendations are not only grounded in findings of the empirical research, but also tailored to Kazakhstan's specific socio-economic context. In summary, this dissertation is highly available contribution to the field of public administration and sustainable development. The work is well researched, clearly written, and perfectly balanced theoretical insight and the practical solution. I believe that dissertation will significantly impact future policy decisions regarding circular economy implementation in Kazakhstan. And with great confidence that the government will for public defense and for awarding of the PG degree in the specialty, state and local government.
Thank you. Are there any comments? No. So let's move on answering the questions. Yes. Please.
Thank you. The first questions were from Rima Alexna. Thank you for your brief questions. So the first one was, what exact government regulation, what specific government regulation in agro-industrial complexes are most effective in accelerating the transition to a circular economy? So I think that the most effective government regulation mechanisms are the first, economic incentives, regulatory support, and improving the circular awareness, the environmental awareness of the population. So by the economic incentives, I mean the tax breaks, subsidies for the enterprises that implement the circular economy principles in their production cycle, like recycling, reusing, or reducing, and other principles of the circular economy. By supporting enterprises such this, the government can accelerate the business sector to transition to the circular economy, and also increasing the awareness of the population also plays a great role. Government can provide this by informational policy, educational campaigns, training for the startups or enterprises to improve the circular economy awareness and the population behavior. The second question was, how did you conduct the subsection 1.3 use? So in subsection 1.3, it was about the international experience, the foreign experience of the circular economy development around the world. So the criteria that I used in this subsection was the classification of World Bank according to the income level of the country. So there were three groups. The first one was high income level countries. Second was upper middle income countries, and the third one, lower middle income countries. So by analyzing all of these three groups of the countries, not only high and their very successful experience, but also the upper middle income and lower middle income countries, they all showed the whole representation of the circular economy development across the world at the three levels. So the main criteria was this. And the next questions were from Shooting Lee. Also, thank you for your questions. And the first question was, how did you collect the survey data related to the population survey, expert interviews, and the expert survey, and the others? So at all stage of collecting the empirical data, for example, in population survey, we conducted a large-scale population survey, which involves the 3,448 people. They were collected via online and also offline by the questionnaire. We gave to these people the questionnaire that were made by us, and also they were made through the social network apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, and the other social networks. And by these, it was this gave us the opportunity to collect the whole data from across the all Kazakhstan. And what about the expert survey? The expert survey data was collected by the 4 fields of experts. As I said before in my presentation, it included the business and industry sector, and also education, science, business, non-governmental organizations, and the practitioners and the others. So all of these, the final sample was, as I said before, the 54, but the initial sample was 100. So by providing our survey and the results of the survey, we came to conclusion that 54 is will be the final sample for this stage of the research. So according to the last expert interviews, they also was collected by the experience, for example, more than 5 years, more than 7 or 9 years. All of these experts were chosen by also their field. In expert interviews, there were 3 fields. It is the governmental organizations. The 5 people were from governmental organizations. 5 people was from the business sector, from the practitioners like farmers and the other participants of the agro-industrial complex in the practice sphere. And then the last one, education and science. The 5 people were chosen from this field according to the experience and knowledge of the circular economy and sustainable development, and the criteria like this. So the empirical data showed the significant results according to the processing of this data. So my answer for your first question was this. The second question was what is the relevance at the international level of the topic of my dissertation work? So as you know, circular economy is not like a trend or something popular. It is a need for the future, for transition to circular economy will play a great role in every country of the world. So it means that from nowadays we should be concerned about the dangerous effects of human process, of human producing system. And also I would like to mention that in Central Asia, this topic is especially relevant and especially in high relevance. So according to my results, according to the whole dissertation work, I can say that the Kazakhstan can be in Kazakhstan nowadays at the initial stage, but by implementing, by researching this sphere, we can accelerate this transition and reduce our waste, reduce our effect on the nature that we give by using the linear model of the economic system, which means like from take, make, waste to take, make, and return. So the circular economy means the returning the resources at the initial stage and reducing the waste. So this topic is relevant not only in Central Asia, but also in the whole world. And I think that my work will give a little, I hope that maybe a little contribution to this development. The third questions were from Anela Khmetovna. Thank you for your questions. The first one was what role plays the public awareness? So according to the results of my research, we came to the conclusion that public awareness sufficiently influence the pro-circular behavior of a population, which in turn influences to the circular sharing. So it means that by increasing the circular awareness of the population, we can get to the result of increasing the circular sharing and pro-circular behavior. So we need to focus, first of all, on the circular awareness according to the research which was made in my dissertation work. So second question, what are the key governmental regulation that should be made in the coming years. So in my opinion, I think that government, first of all, should implement the national law devoted for the circular economy, because we have some gaps in the legislation framework, which was analyzed in subsection 2.1. So I think that the first thing that should be made is the implementation of national circular law. Then the government should modernize or construct new infrastructure for waste sorting, for waste recycling, and the other processes which will help to transition to the circular economy. And also, the last but not least thing that the government should do, I think that increasing the population awareness, the environmental behavior, and the responsible consumption mindset of the population. So by making these three things, government can accelerate the transition to the circular economy. And the third question from you was, how did you justify the PLSM model in your research? So I used the PLSM model in my research because in this empirical data collecting, there were some latent variables, and this method, PLSM, is more suitable for complex model with latent variables and also with non-normal distributed data. By using these criteria, it was more preferable for my work to use exact this PLSM method, which confirmed our hypothesis according to the circular awareness, circular mindset, and external factors, and their influence on a pro-circular behavior and on a circular sharing. So by using this model, the three constructs show the positive result that influence on the circular behavior of a population in Kazakhstan. The next question was from Galia Rahmetovna. Thank you for your questions. The first one was, so nowadays, are there any institutional initial basis for the transition to a circular economy in Kazakhstan? I can say yes, we have some national programs, strategies, and also some practical examples of transition to a circular economy. For example, we have the carbon neutrality strategy by 2060, the digital Kazakhstan, and also Kazakhstan 2050 strategy, the conception to transition for a green economy, environmental code as a basis of all of this. And also we have some individual examples when companies use the principles of circular economy, when they recycle their waste, and the other examples. So my answer is yes, in Kazakhstan we do have basis, but it needs to be improved, and to be accelerating to the circular economy, we should improve this gap. The second one, why did you choose the agro-industrial complex in your research? So I can say that I chose this sector because it is, according to the statistical data, according to the interviews and the others, this sector is one of the most waste-intensive, energy-intensive, and the waste generative sector. So also the agro-industrial complex is like a national sector of Kazakhstan, so it is an important sector, and also the experts from this sector provided some relevant, some significant data according to improving the agro-industrial complex acceleration to the transition to a circular economy. And the next question from you was to improve, to enhance the circular awareness, like the cultural motivation of a population, which specific tool can be used to improve this? So I can say that from government, the most important tool can be through economic incentives for the agro-industrial complex. But for the motivational, I can say that increasing the circular awareness, environmental behavior through informational policy and educational campaigns. So, for example, the government can implement the circular economy principle basis at the school stage, at the university stage, by introducing, for example, like circular economy courses or circular economy principles. For example, at school, it can be made through gamification to improve the circular awareness among the school children. At the universities also, they can use some courses, trainings, and the subjects to improve the awareness of the students. So I think that this method would be like the most efficient method to improve the transition to a circular economy. So the next question was from Vlad Mintaevich. Thank you for your question, for your feedback. And according to the table 70, yes, you are right. The correlation matrix for independent variables showed the high correlation between some variables. So that's why I made two equations. In the first one, I included the x1, x2, x3, and the dependent variable y2. And at the second equation, I excluded x3, which correlates with x4. And the second equation included the x1, x2, x4, and the dependent variable y2. So by making these two equations separately, I made some calculations which showed the result that the cost investment in this waste management system without other implications, for example, intangible factors, only financial incentives alone do not place a significant result on waste recycling process. So results show that. Also, you told about why did I choose these variables, these all variables, if they are insignificant. So yes, your comment was very right, because according to my calculation, all of the variables were insignificant in this model, but according to Fisher test, the model itself showed the positive result, the significant result. The R-score and the Fisher test, for example, R-score for the equation 1 was 0.88, and for the equation 2 is 0.45. And the Fisher test also showed the significant result. So even if the variables and independent variables were insignificant in this model, I reflected in my dissertation work because of their theoretical significance. So all of these variables include in the waste management system to assess this sector, the investment in waste management, the volume of current costs, generation of all types, intensity of waste, and the others. They showed their theoretical significance, not only the model. So that's why I showed it to present that only investing, only like costing of the waste management do not give the positive result on the waste recycling. So we should be more focused not only on funding of the sector, but also on intangible factors like institutional awareness, as showed in the next empirical data results. So all of these factors should be also focused when trying to accelerating to the circular economy. Yes.
So the correlation is not low. 0.462 for x2 and x3 and 0.542 is also average. Yes. I think you're right in your main statement for this defense, that it has been established that in increasing cost of theft
statistically significant effect of the level of recycling in Europe or waste, which is confirmed by irrigation methods. Yes. So, insignificant regression doesn't prove nothing. It just proves nothing. Proves nothing. So, we have to do more.
Better formulate this.
I think there is a high level of various inflation factors.
The results may be more, yeah.
What is the share of circular economy?
What is the share of circular economy? So, assessment. So at the national level, we do not have like this whole the circular economy indicator, but we have some sub-indicators which represent the circular economy process, the circular economy development. For example, GHG emissions, waste generation, waste intensity, industrial waste, and at the subsection 2.2, I mentioned that all of these statistics show the result that the government should be more focused on waste management, on the transition to a circular economy, because the waste generation, which is the circular economy, according to the international reports, waste generation increases every year in Kazakhstan. The factors are a lot of factors, for example, yes. Yeah, we have like the basis. Just we have just basis. For example, no, the total indicator, no, 0. Yeah.
Are there any comments? Well, no. Then the floor is being the first official reviewer is this your research. Our research Institute of Bioeconomy, Marcus, University, Nantas,
Yes, can I speak? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today. It is a very relevant dissertation all around the world, not only developed countries, but also developing countries, because circular economy includes a lot of business activities, especially oriented into the regions. And this is a main importance of this dissertation. The dissertation candidate evident that circular economy initiatives is important to the developing countries, and it is applicable because these initiatives can be used also in the countries which have natural resources, which have fossil fuels, and it is also creates some synergistic effects when countries who have a strong petrol sector use the renewable resources for some operations. I would like to ask some few words from my review of this dissertation. If I can, of course, First, the thesis corresponds the strategic direction of state development program in the areas of sustainable development, green economy, main environmental governance, as outlined the key national documents and international obligations. This dissertation will be a strong instrument if governors or municipality participants would like to understand the main problems of the circularity, and this dissertation corresponds to the main strategic documents of Kazakhstan or Paris Climate Agreement. The circularity is the actions of circular economy are described correctly. This action also creates the significance of the whole science area, because, as I mentioned before, these doctoral theses are oriented not only to developed countries but also to the developing countries. Developing countries today have some challenges related to the implementation of the circular economy ideas, and I would like to add that government position is important thing, but also important thing is a governance. Which persons to implement the ideas. I think it could be a good future research field for the doctoral candidate. Some dissertation research complied with the generally accepted principles of the academic ethics and scientific integrity. The relevance of this study are very clear and justified. First, this dissertation tried to solve some scientific problem in the Kazakhstan, but this dissertation have a lot of evidence from the developed countries which have some technologies to create the circular economy instruments, etc. The context of the dissertation fully reflect the state topics of state regulation of the circular economy, and the purpose and objectives of the topic thesis are clearly presented. Of course, some sections of the dissertation are arranged in the single, logically interconnected chain, and this work demonstrates the higher critical component. The author's conclusions and recommendations are very valuable, clearly argued and compared with the positions of the other researchers in the state regulation of the circular economy. This dissertation have a strong novelty. Because in the scientific area we not have much research related to the developing countries' circular economy initiatives. This scientific work shows the ambition to explain the possibilities to implement the circular economy initiatives. I fully understand the problem that the lack of quantitative data, but the doctoral candidate solved this problem. When she make a few qualitative researchers included some persons and the experts. After this research, doctoral candidate reached the very valuable results, and these results will be relevant in the future. in the thesis, the doctoral student based in the Kazakhstan context, but I see the other scientific references from the other countries, not only in the Western world, but also from the other Asian countries. This thesis proposes several innovative technical and economic solutions that have not been applied in the context from Kazakhstan to date. Also, this thesis ensures the high reliability in the findings due to the integrated use of the several methods and data sources. And I would like to conclude that this dissertation has been completed, and it is recommended to the award with the doctoral degree. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I give it to the second lecture of the year, я associate professor, faculty of economics and German University, invite ourselves for the language.
Thank you for member commissions. The official review for the thesis of the Amangельдиева Berganon Askarkaze on the topic state regulation of the circular economics development in the Republic of Kazakhstan. The relevance of this dissertation is fully justified based on the Kazakhstan transition from land economy to circular economy, which in response to the mounting resource scarcity, environmental degradation, and international position. This dissertation also can improve the government state programs. Nowadays, the Kazakhstan have some programs. It's concept of transition to green economy, program of Kazakhstan. The thesis was complete within the framework of fundamental scientific projects. It's based on the two fundamental projects. It's the development of circular economy 2021-2023 years, and the responsible production in Kazakhstan enterprises as tool for achieving sustainable development goals 2023 and 2025 years. The dissertation makes a significant contribution to scientific literature. Students analyze many research articles and public policy papers, resolve the key conceptual problems in concept of the circular economy. They have the links. They use the macro, meso, and micro instruments in dissertations. Also, they have all topics of the chapters of the dissertation reflect the topics of the thesis. They have a section and provisions of the thesis. It's logical and completely interconnected. Structure of the dissertation and introduction to conclusions. Its relevance to the topic. Topics they have as a introduction substance, the relevance, purpose, and objective of the study. The theoretical section creates a methodological base. Chapters have access to the problems of the circular economy in Kazakhstan and make some empirical analysis. The dissertation demonstrates the strong critical approach, analyze the state regulation models for the circular economy. The purpose of the purpose and objectives corresponding to the topic of thesis. The purpose of the dissertation is analysis of the process of formation of the circular economy in the Republic of Kazakhstan and development of the recommendation for state regulation mechanisms. This dissertation combines some conceptual and methodological concepts from 3A to 9A framework and analyze the industrial ecology principles. The dissertation combines proven conception of foundation and significant new results. They have analyzed the adaptation of the international circular economy models and ESG concepts to the realities of Kazakhstan. The systematization of the institutional barriers in the level of macro, meso, and micro levels. Analyzes also the domestic literature of Kazakhstan authors, developing some digital monitoring mechanism for public policy. Also, they analyze the empirical data for determinate the circular behavior. Also, doctoral students have the ecological industrial program for agro-industrial complex. Students also have several publications. It's 12 works, includes 2 articles in Scopus journals and 5 journals of the Ministry of the Science and Higher Education of Kazakhstan. Also, they have the part of in the collective monograph and for papers or in the materials of the conference. The choice of the methodology is justified. They use the mixed research. They use quantitative and qualitative methods. Quantitative methods they use, for example, it's a questionnaire. Questionnaire it's based on the more 3,000 respondents. They use surveys in SPSS. Also, they construct the PLS SEM models in Smart PLS program. They improve the methodological approach in the first chapter, and also they make some regression model for novelty of a dissertation, theoretical conclusions, models, and relationships, and defined relationships have been proven and confirmed by experimental research. Experimental research is based on the questionnaire and based on the expert interviews. Also, they use the predictive analytics. And I recommend to use the predictive analytics based on the artificial intelligence in the recommendation. Also, they recommend have some program product for state improvements, state policy improvement. These theses have theoretical value because the literature resource use many different some papers and policy papers. Also, important statements confirmed by reference to current and relevant scientific literature. They analyze Kirchner, Geisler, and others. Also, Ellen MacArthur research papers. The thesis have a practical importance and high probability for applying the results in practice in public policy. The dissertation has a clear logical structure. They have some scientific terminology, have the technical terminology, and others. They have some section in describing the methodology. It will be better to briefly mention the study main limitations. Also, the long sentence has some long sentence. They have many theoretical base in the dissertation, but our recommendations aim to clarify and improve the without the undermining the study scientific significance. Conclusions, it's my conclusions. I recommend this doctoral students for the awarding for PhD degree.
Thank you. Yeah, because you asked me to respond to the US comments.
Thank you, esteemed reviewers, Magda, Shavas, and Arsenio Daganovich, for your thoughtful recommendations, for your constructive feedback, the review. And I would like to thank you for your great work that you considered my dissertation as a reviewers. And I would like to mention that all of your recommendations, all of your comments will be considered in my future research that I plan to.
Well, the formal discussion is over. The official reviews have given positive feedback on the candidate's situation. Let's move on to the discussion. Who wants to speak? Yes.
Discussion?
Yes. Discussion. First, I will ask our temporary mentors. Is shooting lead, Professor shooting
Yes.
lead.
Hello.
You want to say something about the dissertation?
Yes. I think it was a very good presentation and I really enjoyed it. And the topic is, of course, very important and relevant because myself is also doing this topic and some of my students, they are doing this topic too. So I'm very glad to be invited. Thank you, Akno, for inviting me. I think the student did a very good job. The methodology was very appropriate and she did a lot of job actually, starting from comparing the circular economy practices in different countries, right? She also divided into different types of countries and their practices and adopted the various methodologies, including the regression, the PLS, SEM, and also expert interviews to solve the research questions accordingly. So that's very important actually. Usually we only see maybe 2 methodologies, that's enough, but she did a lot. So I can see the great amount of effort she actually put into the dissertation. And also the research is very thorough, very informative, and also interesting. It provides important theoretical value and also managerial implications. So it shows the candidates sufficient knowledge in the area too. So I'm very confident that she is very, very capable in this area, and I think she fully meets the requirement to be awarded with a PhD degree. And besides that, I also have some few recommendations for you to maybe further improve the quality of the manuscript, the dissertation. First, these are all very small things. The first recommendation I wanted to make is maybe you can add page numbers to the dissertation. I don't know if it's the format requirements in Kazakhstan or not, but usually we have this habit to put the page numbers. And also at the end of the dissertation, I don't know if you should put one section called the limitation and the directions for future research. right? So right now you don't have that. Maybe it would be better to also include that too. And also for the hypothesis development, right now I don't see the rationale section under the hypothesis development. So under each hypothesis, you just listed the hypothesis, right? But you didn't really put the rationale why I think A will influence B or why A is positively impacts B, right? So maybe you can put some rationales that would be better. Okay, so that's some of my recommendations for your dissertation. Beyond that, I think you did an excellent job, and I really enjoyed reading your dissertation and also listening to your presentation. Yeah, that's a very good job, and congratulations. Thank you.
Do you want to speak?
Yes, I would like to say something. So, first of all, dear Berganim, thank you for your presentation. Your research demonstrated deep understanding of the topic, which reflects on the high level of academic interest. It is clear that you have put significant effort into your work, and the results of both really relevant and timely. And that's why I support you. Also, I would like to acknowledge the guidance and support provided by your scientific advisor, ACNUR. Such collaboration is essential in achieving strong research outcomes. I really sincerely wish you both continued success in the future research and academic achievement. I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Will you speak?
Hello, dear colleagues. If it's possible, I will perform in Kazakh. Қайырлы күн тағы да құрметті әріптестер. Бүгінгі диссертанттың өте өзекті тақырыпқа арналған жұмысы өте қуантады. Бұл зерттеу тарапынан, өз тарапынан өте терең зерттеулерді жұмыс жасағаны көрініп тұр. Ол презентациялық жұмысынан, оны баяндау барысынан, сұрақтарға жауап, жалпы жұмысының жалпы мазмұнына қатысты өте терең зерттеулерді жасағаны көрініп тұр. Ол тек қана өзекті мәселеге арналып қана қойып тұрған жоқ, сонымен қатар бұл мәселелерді қазіргі тұрақты экологиялық экономика стратегияларын қалыптастыру кезінде осы мемлекеттік стратегияларды қалыптастырудың басты негізгі фундаментальды сұрақтарының біріне айналып тұрған белгілі. Сондықтан да бұл аталмыш диссертациялық жұмыс және оны зерттеушінің басты негізгі еңбектері мен осы қосып тұрған үлесі көптеген негізгі мәселелер мен идеялары осы стратегиялық жоспарларды бағдарламаларды жасауда негізгі іргетас ретінде де үлесін қоса алады деген үміттеміз. Бүгінгі баяндамаңызға және оны осы дәрежеге дейін алып келген ғылыми зерттеушілеріне, консультанттарына, рецензенттеріне өте үлкен рахмет. Алдағы уақыттарда сіздерге табыс тілей отырып, бүгінгі диссертанттың терең зерттеу жұмысын қолдауға шақырамын әріптестерді. Үлкен рахмет.
Söz
Ben bu bilimlerin sonrasında bilimin terbiye kesip açısından bulaşıkla ilgili oluyor. Siz de aslında daim tabacak ifadesiyansınız. Tam kesinlikle Avrupa noktalarında onun için istediğimizin boş bir neticeleri şimdi istihdasında bizi isterler. Azalmak için sözünde arasması değil.
Thank you. Arima bakalım yakın very want to speak.
I have some comment. The topic of the dissertation is very relevant and important, not only for Kazakhstan, but also for all world. I hope that is only start, and Birghanim will continue this explore, and I wish you luck in future.
So, is it enough? Yes. I think in our ethic, Amangельдиевой has done good research. With interesting direction of research. So now we can go to the next stage. So we have completed the discussion. The discussion is over the material becoming. We are moving on to the next stage of the council meeting. So let's go to conduct this work. The floor is given to the scientific secretary of the Dissertation Council, Ali Basim.
Thank you very much. Welcome, dear members of the Dissertation Council, dear reviewers, I'll send you link both by email. Please follow the link and starting to vote. Dear members, reviewers, I'll send the link to you by mail to voting. Please follow the link and vote. I'll send the link to you.
Everything is fine. I voted.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Sorry. So the content is not in English and I don't understand.
Sorry?
How shall I vote? So this is the link I received, but it's
Yes, it's not. Thank you.
it's not, right? So what does it mean? I don't understand. It's not in English. Let me see. Oh yeah, yes. Okay.
Sorry, colleagues. Sorry, colleagues.
So-
I voted, but I need to turn off my camera. Sorry. Okay. But I voted.
So
Thank you.
so blue means okay, right?
Everything is okay, Professor Shuking.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Mhm.
Uzun.
Just.
The floor is given to the scientific secretary of the Dissertation Council, Kaliva Similekovna, to announce the results of secret vote.
Okay, all the 9 members took part in the voting. Based on the voting, result is 9 votes to award the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Congratulations.
The results are 9. Yes, award the Doctor of Philosophy degree, 9 votes. Yes. Others? So, I ask you to vote to approve the results of secret vote. So, I think, you see that, unanimously, that the voting results have been approved. Based on the results of the secret vote, the Dissertation Council at the Alpha Kazakhstan University in the field of study AT 041 Business and Management decided to award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy PhD to Amangельдиевой in the specialty AT 04-103 State and Local Government. Amangельдиевой on behalf of the Dissertation Council, I congratulate you on the successful defense of your dissertation. We wish you further success. So, and this floor is given to the dissertation candidate. You say,
Dear Dissertation Council members, my supervisors and reviewers, delegates, I would like to express my gratitude to my university, Kazakh National University, for the support, for all of the opportunities that it gave me throughout my whole education. And my special thanks to my supervisors, Vidita Kuzakno and Luan, for their guidance, for their patience, and for their support. In these 3 years, they have helped me a lot to finish my work, and by giving the support, I am here presenting and achieving the work of my life. So also I would like to thank reviewers, Mantas, Shvazas, and Arsen Mutagaliyevich for your time, for your expert review, for your thoughtful feedback, for your constructive recommendations. All of your recommendations I will consider, as I have said before, and also Dissertation Council members, thank you for your time that you came here, that you listened to my presentation, for your evaluation, and for your support, that all we are here. I'm very glad, and I would like to thank all of you. Thank you again, and I hope that my work will contribute to the transition to circular economy in Kazakhstan in the future. And I would like to say that I will continue my work in this sphere, so you will hear me in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, the meeting of the Dissertation Council for Defense of the Doctor of Dissertation for Amangельдиевой is declared closed. I want to say thank you all for our temporary members, Shulkin, Lee, Kirillova Amelia Ahmetovna, Kasenova Injegul Pramuzayevna, official reviews Mantas Shvazas, Klepaev Arsen Mutagaliyevich. Also for our permanent members of the Special Council, Sagieva Rina, Darula Daria, Kalila Asen. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Поздравляем вас.
Thank you.